Lincoln, you need to back up.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the City of Oldsmar City Council meeting. It's Tuesday, May 17th. It is 7 p.m. I am calling this meeting to order. Could everyone please rise? I'd like to have a moment of silence for the people of my hometown of Buffalo, New York, that lost their lives over the weekend, plus all the people who have lost their lives to COVID. Thank you. Our invocation and our pledge allegiance of the flag will be done by Pastor Rob Sorello from Grace and Faith Church. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a privilege and an honor to be here. Thank you. And thank you to all of you fine folk who have been running the city. I've lived here since 1997, and Oldsmar is an awesome place. And thank you for keeping it an awesome place. If we would close our eyes. Father, we thank you tonight for the liberties and the freedom that you have given us. And as these council men and women in the community come together to decide future matters of this city, your word talks about the elders sitting at the gates of the city and you giving them wisdom. And we ask in Jesus' name for the spirit of wisdom, cooperation, and agreement to fall on this meeting and every meeting. God, we pray that you will give us divine insight and that you will guide us and lead us by your Holy Spirit. We bless the communications tonight, the discussions, and we pray your protection over this city. You have kept us safe, and we trust you to keep this city and its citizens from harm. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much for coming out. We really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. With that, I am going to open the public open forum. Each speaker will be recognized. You will get 5 minutes to speak, and we welcome everyone to come on up and speak on any topic except anything that's on the agenda. So anybody on this side would like to speak?
Actually, we can speak on the agenda.
Oh, that's right, because there's no
public hearing.
There's no public hearing, so you can speak on anything you want. Yes. Welcome, Judge Keith Meyer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And thank you, members of the council. And I thought we had a new addition to the council there for a second, who was seated in the vice mayor's chair, but reminded me of my daughters coming to the courthouse and sitting in my chair. But I was just introduced. My name is Keith Meyer. I am one of your circuit judges, and my effort is to get by and talk to my constituents over the next few months. And that's every single person living in Pasco and Pinellas County. So it's a kind of a big territory to cover. But I think one of the best things to do is to go to city council meetings and town council meetings and meet leaders of your community as well as people who care about your community. So brevity in my world is always appreciated. So I'm going to stop talking in just a second. I'm going to try to stay to the end of the meeting. If anyone has any questions about what goes on in your circuit courts and what we do, I'd be happy to stay by and answer any questions you might have. If you need any information about me and I happen to leave, you can call me. I'll give you my personal cell phone number. Don't give it to any nefarious characters, please. It's 727-410-4984. And you can also find out more information about me at votekeithmeyer.com. But I've been your judge for the last 12 years or so, so I have a few interesting things to share with you if you're interested in what we do down at the courthouse. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you so much. Anyone else on this side of the room? No one on that side of the room? Anybody on this side of the room wish to speak? Come on up.
My name is John Paskert. I'm at 818 Christina Circle. 2 innocent children were killed at a city-planned event. The city council priorities make no mention of citizen safety. There should be no higher priority. I submit to the city council that they amend their priority list to include citizen safety, and they set the city manager's highest priority to be citizen safety. I also suggest that a written copy of the city manager's management plan include in detail how the city manager will ensure the safety of every citizen of Oldsmar, from the youngest to the oldest. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Anyone else on this side of the room would like to speak? Anybody else in the entire building like to speak? Oh, yep, come on up. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity. Mr. Mayor, thank you. Thank you for all the jobs that you all do each and every day. So a lot goes unseen by us. So I just want to thank each one of y'all. But my name is Rick Justice, and I live at 611 Chestnut Street. And I guess I just had a question. There's a lot of stuff that the city here does, and we love living here. We've lived here for about 3.5 years, and we've enjoyed this place immensely. We're really surprised at all the activities that go on, but we've noticed that the park at the end of Shore Drive, I guess it's Mobley Bayou Park. I was just wondering if there's any way we could get the mangroves cut down where you could enjoy the water view a little better. It's getting really hard to see the water. It's such a beautiful place, and there's a lot of people, it seems, that are coming to enjoy it more and more each weekend. And it would just be nice to see it trimmed up a little better. And that'd be about the only thing I have. So other than that, thank you all for the jobs you do. Appreciate the time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else in the room would like to speak to the council? With that, I'm going to close the open forum. The next item on our agenda is the community minute, and that will be done by our city clerk, Ann Nixon.
3 items I want to highlight. The weekend wake up is Friday, May 20th at 10 o'clock. It's a Facebook Live event. Join Mayor Dan Saraki as he interviews people active in the Oldsmar community. And this Friday, he'll talk with Commander Dave Bear from the Oldsmar VFW post. So 10 o'clock this Friday morning, Facebook Live. And then Memorial Day ceremony, it's Monday, May 30th at 10 o'clock in the morning at Veterans Memorial Park. Join Oldsmar City officials as they honor those who have served and sacrificed for our country. It's a very moving event, so if you can make it, that'd be great. And then Harbor Palms Phase 3 public meeting is Thursday, June 2nd from 5 to 7 at Sheffield Park, Pavilion number 2. It's an opportunity to stop by anytime to provide your input, ask questions, and learn more about the final phase of the Harbor Palms infrastructure project. That's all I have.
Great job. Thank you so much. All right, next item on the agenda is approval of additional new agenda items, number 2 and 10. I need a motion for approval.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is awards and recognition. And the item is the Council Manager Award for May 2022, and that will be done by our City Council member, Andrew Knapp.
Mayor, our recipient is not here this evening.
Oh.
They did not make it in time, so, we're off, sorry. Our recipient's not here, so I would request that we postpone this until they can be in attendance,
No problem.
unless
Oh.
they're walking in.
No?
Nope.
So, do we need a motion or just?
Yeah, I would suggest a motion to.
Okay,
Okay, we're-
Mayor, I move to postpone the event until our next council. meeting.
Second? Okay, I have a motion and a, oh, Ann, you want to?
Wondering if it was.
No?
That was the
No.
way.
All right, so I have a motion and a second to postpone item number 1, the council manager award. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any discussion on discussion? All right, we're good. Motion passes. We're gonna move on to the Community Redevelopment Agency, and that is item 2, and Felicia Donnelly, our city manager, please.
Approve the specific methodology for the request for development proposals for the city-owned property adjacent to City Hall. At the May 3rd, 2022 City Council meeting, the City Council unanimously approved a motion to engage the public and a professional consultant to create a request for downtown development proposals. This agenda item seeks to clarify and consider approval of a specific methodology as follows. Step 1, the consultant will facilitate one public workshop to specifically draft a vision statement for the property that will be used in the request for development proposals. Number 2, a request for development proposals will be prepared and issued. Number 3, city staff will facilitate 3 open houses to obtain public input regarding any development proposals that are received. Number 4, the city manager will submit development proposals and public comment to City Council for consideration. Staff recommends approval.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion, a second?
Second.
Oh, I got a second by Councilmember Graber. Any discussion on this item? Anybody would like to talk about this? Katie? Yep.
I just had one quick question that I had forgot to ask. Will the 3 open houses to obtain public comment regarding any development proposals that are received include public comment on the Woodfield proposal already received, or would it only be for the newer ones?
For the new one,
Okay.
right now the council's given move to cease negotiations with Woodfield. So they would have to repropose
Okay.
and submit a new proposal under this new framework.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Are there any other discussion?
I
Yes.
just had one thing, and I know Ginger's here, and Melissa. Ginger had sent me a couple emails about why I made the recommendation to pause negotiations with Woodfield, and you had asked me what had changed. The change of the ordinance language to allow the density incentive increase allows for more proposals to come in. And so since over the last year through the election season, what we were hearing a lot was, how can we get more public input? When we paused negotiations and there was a request for development proposals to be put out, and it's also seeming like we're going to vote on it later, but when we had our planning session to discuss council priorities, one of those was to expand citizen engagement. So as I was wondering how to get more proposals, because I wasn't sure how that process worked, the question was, is there a way to get public input before? And so being able to put it into the request for a proposal is why you're seeing it at the time, and that's why I made that suggestion. It's so we have a clearer picture and we get input from all of the stakeholders now. And so I just wanted to make sure that was clear. Ginger asked me to specifically address that tonight, so I just wanted to make sure that I did, but that was the reason that I made the suggestion the way that I did. So I hope that clears that up. You're welcome. That was it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Councilmember Knapp.
Thank you, Mayor. I was just hoping that perhaps the city manager could try to describe a little bit of what the time frame or timetable of each of these items, like the sequence of how that may happen. I know there's probably a little bit of uncertainty around that still, but just kind of where it may stand right now.
There is uncertainty, certainly. And part of that is because it depends on a lot of factors that are out of our control. So I've had preliminary discussions with a consultant who specializes in community engagement that would come in and assist. We still have to negotiate a contract with them. I have to negotiate a schedule with them to see when they would be able to hold a public meeting. I talked to that consultant that time is of the essence, and that we still have to give 3-week notice to the public before we hold any public meeting. That's my strong recommendation, to allow people to schedule that. We can't have a pop-up public meeting.
No.
So to allow that scheduling, so that's one factor. So say that all goes well, optimally, I would hope that we could schedule that public workshop sometime in June. And then the consultant will have to prepare the request for development proposals, which also will take some time. So I don't really have a good time frame from them yet on what their workload would allow for that. And then when we advertise, we have to advertise and allow ample time for developers to put together a complicated proposal. So they have to have time to review all of the site characteristics to put that together. So that can vary, between 30 and 60 days, being kind of what we call out on the street. That means that that's when the proposal's advertised. Then we receive them, then we will have to vet them all to make sure that they meet the criteria. Then we have to set up another round of public meetings, which then require another 3-week notice. So I'm sorry that's very vague, but that's how I envision the process based on your direction at the last council meeting.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, more or less what it sounds like is that we're somewhere on the order of about a month out potentially from getting that first hearing, then obviously 1 to 2 months for the proposals to be received, and then really another month there. So we're talking 4 or 5 months from now before we may finally settle on this is what the council likes based on citizen input. Does that
Yeah.
sound
I'm thinking, right, more, and not including all the staff review that we have to take.
Sure.
So it's probably gonna end up more
We're
at
looking
like
like
6
year-end.
months
Yeah.
on an optimistic side.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good though, because I think there should be ample time for all those things to take place and not just, jump from one event to the next to check boxes. Cool. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Anything else? Just one quick comment. I think this is a perfect example of us getting on the right track, moving forward. So thank you so much, Felicia, for that. With that, I already have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item on our agenda is the consent docket, which will be read by our city clerk, Ann Nixon.
Item number 3, approved minutes of the April 26, 2022 Annual Planning Conference. Item number 4, approved minutes of the May 3rd, 2022 council meeting. Item number 5, approved payment to legal counsel for April 2022 legal services. Item number 6, approve and authorize execution of work order number 19 of 2018-007-RFQ with Ardura Group Incorporated for professional services for the water supply plant. Item number 7, approve waiving bid requirements and awarding contract with Red Zone Robotics Incorporated for wastewater collection system condition assessment services under the same pricing terms and conditions as the Brevard County RFP number 72205, piggyback 22-15.
Thank you so much. Does anybody wish to pull anything? No? Okay. With that, then I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion, a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, we're moving along. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent docket passes. Next item on the agenda is the City of Oldsmar, and that is approve appointment of Dane Piggott as the alternate member of the Veterans Advisory Board. Where is he? Come on up. Welcome, Dane.
Thank you.
So why don't you do this? Tell us a little about yourself and why you want to get involved.
Yep, my name is Dane Piggott. I live at 201 Lafayette Boulevard. I've been an Army officer since 2011, and I currently serve in the Army Reserve down in Miami. My wife Kelly used to be in the Air Force, so military issues are very near and dear to our heart. And so when I heard there was an opening, and we always go to the Veterans Day and Memorial Day ceremony, and when I heard there was an opening on the board, I thought it was a good way to kind of get involved and help bring my vision. And also as a global war on terror veteran, a lot of times veterans advisory boards and veteran programs and stuff are a lot more skewed towards people who are in Vietnam and Korea or some of the older conflicts in the past that don't always represent younger veterans. And so I want to really be able to help represent younger veterans in the city who sometimes go underrepresented because they're not necessarily as apparent and not as out there. So,
Well, I tell you what, we're really excited about having you on this board. Is there anybody that'd like to ask him questions or anything?
Where's Connor?
at Eastlake High School's band petition or something.
That's where my
With
nephew is.
With his neighbor, yeah, with our neighbors, so.
You guys might recognize their son Connor Piggott is super, super involved and loves firefighters across across the
Yes.
state, across the United States, really. He's got an incredible collection of patches. They've given a flag to the Oldsmar fire rescue station. Just fantastic family.
Well, anything else? Well, we are really excited that you're gonna be on the Veterans Advisory Board, and we look forward to seeing you at Memorial Day ceremony. With that, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
How about a second?
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying Dane. Dane. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Motion passes. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the team. Next item on the agenda is item number 9, which will be our city attorney, Tom Trask.
Thank you, Mayor. This is item number 9, adopt resolution 2022-09, supporting Safe Streets, Pinellas, a Vision Zero effort. This is a resolution you asked me to prepare. I'm going to read the resolution by title only. Resolution 2022-09, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, supporting Safe Streets, Pinellas, a Vision Zero effort to eliminate traffic fatalities and serious injuries on the Pinellas Transportation Network and providing for an effective date. That was a reading of that resolution, 2022-09 by title only.
All right, thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion. How about a second?
Second.
I have a second by Vice Mayor Buckman. And is there any discussion on this item?
Thank you for preparing it so quickly, Tom. I
Yes.
appreciate it. This is important to me.
Yeah, great job. And with that, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Tom. Anything else?
That's it, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda is City Manager Felicia Donnelly, item number 10.
Item number 10, accept the ranking and authorize the city manager to negotiate a contract for 2022-010 RFP Comprehensive Plan Update. On January 18th, 2022, City Council approved AIR 1706, which authorized the city manager to advertise request for proposal 2022-010-RFP for firms interested in providing services to update the city's comprehensive plan. The city advertised 2022-010-RFP and received responses from 3 firms. An evaluation committee comprised of city staff has reviewed, scored, and ranked the proposals received. The highest scoring proposal was submitted by Calvin Giordano and Associates. Pending council approval, the city manager will attempt to negotiate a contract with the highest ranked firm. In the event an agreement cannot be reached, the city will terminate negotiations with the top ranked firm and attempt to negotiate with the second highest ranking firm. It is important to note that appropriations for the comprehensive plan update will be requested in a future council budget revision prior to contract award, and staff recommends approval.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. I need a second.
Second?
I have a second. Any discussion on this item? Thank you so much, Felicia. With that, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 11. You're up.
Item number 11, authorize the city attorney to draft resolution updating local permitting and zoning fees. On September 1st, 2021, the city entered into a new interlocal agreement with Pinellas County for a Florida Building Code review. Under the new terms, the county provides FBC, Florida Building Code compliance review, and collects the fees associated with the building permitting directly through the county. Most permits still originate at the city and require zoning, flood, and technical review approval. The current building and planning fee resolutions, last updated many years ago in 2010, include the permitting fees associated with different types of building permits, in addition to the local permits that do not require Florida Building Code review fee. Due to the new interlocal agreement and cost neutrality for the Florida Building Code review, an update to the city's building and planning fees is now required. The city has engaged Raftellus Financial Consultants to conduct a permitting and zoning fee study for the services that remain under review at the city level. Henry Thomas from Raftellus will present the results of the study and fee recommendations to the city council. If the recommendations are accepted by the city council, the city attorney will draft a resolution to update the fees charged by the city for local permits, technical review services, and zoning services. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good evening.
We appreciate you coming out tonight. Thank you so much.
Not a problem at all. Happy to be here. It's nice to be able to get out from behind the Zoom camera these days.
Yeah.
So, as Ms. Donnelly indicated, the city had engaged us to look at the whole zoning and permitting fee situation. But as the study got started, you elected to send some of those responsibilities to the county through an interlocal agreement. So the remaining fees that were under the city's purviews are what we're going to talk about this evening. So this just shows you the existing fees. Again, it was 2014 the last time the existing fees were looked at and adopted. And the methodology that we used was to identify the procedures that were involved in each fee processing and approval request. We looked at the staffing that was involved in each individual activity, the time involved, and then calculated the cost of providing those services. So the fees we looked at included fence permit fees, a temporary banner permit, seawall permit, dock permit, slab driveway and sidewalk permits, fire suppression, fire sprinklers, burn, fill, and clearing. So this table here shows the existing fees and then the proposed cost-based fees. And I'll briefly go through them. Additionally to clearing, again, you had a number of items: tree removal, landscape, residential permitting, tent permitting for those that elect to put up a tent at their event, fire alarm permits, post-inspection fire. There were about 7 new fees: fire alarm permit, post-fire inspection, flood zone zoning letter, flood review, zoning review, and expanded zoning letter and inspection fees were all activities that required your staff's time that you were not currently charging a fee. So in addition to the existing fees that the county didn't take responsibility for, we developed fees for these 7 additional activities. And you can see, for example, the fence permit fee was originally $30 plus 10 cents per linear foot of fencing. Our proposed fee is $50. Now, you had a number of fees that were similar to this in terms of there was a per square foot, for example, for seawalls and per acre charges. But in reality, when we looked at the activities involved, they didn't really vary from applicant to applicant based on the size of the fence. It was the activity itself that we focused on. So some of these fees actually simplify, they're cost-based, but they actually simplify the fee calculation process. Example, the seawall permit was $40 plus 30 cents per linear foot. We're recommending a fee of $85. You did not have a dock permit. Again, the permitted proposed fee is $85. Slab driveway permit from $50 to $70. So again, this is today's costs. Obviously, it's 8 years since you adopted these last time, so there's been a significant increase in costs. And I suspect going forward, since we wrapped this up several months ago, we didn't see what's going to happen in the future to your costs with all the inflation we're expecting to see in the near future. Obviously, your costs may rise again, but mostly this is labor-related costs. There are some vehicles that are involved, so we have some overhead for vehicles built into certain fees when a vehicle is used. And I have issued a report. I assume you got a copy of that as well. Mm-hmm. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to entertain them. But in conclusion, we just think that this provides an effective and equitable means to recover your costs We did compare them to surrounding municipalities and found out that the proposed fees were very similar, obviously not one-to-one in every instance, and we do recommend you consider adopting the proposed fees.
All right, thank you. Any questions?
I had one. And
Sure, Councilman Graber?
for putting this together for us and the work that you completed. Just to clarify, with the 30 plus 10 cent per square foot, is it now 50 plus? 10
No,
cents?
it's just $50 flat fee.
And the reason that I'm asking is because on the fill and the clearing permit section, it's $50 per acre, and then the recommended fee is $170 and $135 respectively.
Yes.
Is that a per acre?
No, again, that is a flat fee.
Just flat
So,
fee,
so
okay.
those fees that had an aspect of them that included the per acre charge, for example, when we evaluated the activities, the site visit, the application intake, the time it took to process it, the cost didn't really vary, say, for example, between a 1 acre and 2 acre site.
Okay.
So that's why we're recommending a flat fee. It'll simplify the calculation of the fees. They'll be able to communicate those without any further information, but really the activities did not vary based upon either the linear foot or the acreage of the activity involved.
Okay, perfect.
All right, any other questions, comments? Felicia, you have anything else?
I don't.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming out today and presenting this to us. It looks like some of this stuff is well overdue.
Sure.
All right, with that, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
I just want to make sure that we understand that this is to authorize me to prepare the resolution, which will come back to you for actual adoption.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. All in favor signify by saying aye. Oh, I'm sorry, Councilmember Gannon?
Sorry, I was just gonna make one comment that I think the elimination of a lot of these variable fees plus square feet plus per acre, I think that eliminates a lot of confusion for our residents
Agreed.
who wanna know, is this a math problem? Just tell me the fee, and I think that makes a lot of sense to capture the staff time, which we weren't doing at all. And like you said, Mayor, long overdue. I think it's really important that we get on top of some of these things before 8 years passes. That's
Yes.
significantly long.
Well, the one that I got is the flood review. I remember my neighbors would call the city hall and they would be able to get their
thing.
flood information for no charge.
Regardless of how long it took,
Right.
an hour or 3 days, yeah.
This is, like I said, it's well overdue. Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Tom, it's in your hands for next meeting. Thank you so much. All right, next item on the agenda is city clerk. Ann Nixon, do you have anything for us?
No, but I really appreciate Kathy filling in for me last time. She did an excellent job. I love Kathy.
Stellar job.
That's all I have.
All right, great. Kathy, you have anything you want to add? All right. All right, next item on the agenda is city council, and we need to, that is item number 12, adopt council priorities for fiscal year 22-23 and 23-24. And I'm going to read that. On April 26, 2022, the City Council held its annual planning conference. At this meeting, the City Council selected its priorities for the next 2 fiscal years. The final list of priorities for fiscal year 22-23 and fiscal year 23-24 are as follows. Maintain existing infrastructure. Enhance roadway safety for all mobilities, including safe routes to schools. Renovate and upgrade the Harbor Palms infrastructure. Update our comprehensive plan. Execute the Oldsmar Sports Complex improvements. Expand community engagement. And build a downtown corridor. And with that, I think that's it. I wanted to read that, and the city and the recommend motion is adopt council priorities for fiscal year 22, 23, and 23 and 24.
I make a motion to adopt the council priorities for both fiscal years as read by our mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Gann. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, Councilmember Councilmember Knapp seconds. All right, any other discussion?
Nothing for me.
I just want to say that was a great work session that we had. I was really impressed with all of us in coming up with these
Oh, sorry. It's
Please
also
start.
great to see that we're already got the ball in motion on some of these in advance of adopting said priorities. We just
Yeah.
talked about our comprehensive plan and
Yeah, we did. We just talked about comp
safe
plan,
roadway safety.
safety,
Yes.
the
So,
resolution.
Getting ahead.
Yeah.
we're moving forward.
And Harbor Palms was
Yeah.
on the consent docket.
Yeah,
and
that's really, it's
yeah.
moving forward. Thank you all, guys. All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Next item on the agenda. Okay, item 13. There's something has come up and the city attorney would like to address the council.
So this item number 13, appoint Councilmember Knapp as a city-appointed trustee to the Firefighters Pension Board. This was brought to you based upon a recommendation by the Pension Board's attorney, Mr. Herrera. And his recommendation was, or his opinion was, that a city manager, a city clerk, or a city council member could become a member of this particular board. And I obviously have an issue with that because of the fact that there is an attorney general opinion that was issued in 2003 that specifically provided that that was not allowed. And the reason being is that that would be considered a dual office holding violation. Have reached out to the attorney to see whether or not that he could provide any additional information for the position that he was taking. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get a response back just yet from him. So in the meantime, while I'm waiting for that information to come back, with the full knowledge that this AGO says you can't do it, my advice to you is to table this matter and so that we can do a little bit more research on it. And once we speak to the board attorney, that I can get his input. And one way or the other, we'll come back to you. But my advice to you is to table this matter so that we can address the AGO opinion that was issued almost 20 years ago.
Okay. You will have a discussion? You have something?
Well, I was gonna make a motion to table this agenda item until such time that it becomes appropriate to address it with the full background and information from council for the board.
Thank you, Councilmember Gann. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor? Oh, any other discussion? Yes, go ahead, Andrew.
I'd just like to make a brief point that it seems rather unlikely that we would move forward with this. So tabling for now seems good, but would it be possible to begin exploring an alternative option for an appointee in the event that we cannot pursue this route? Have the city manager maybe work on that?
When I met with Felicia and Ann today, we talked about that. And yes, they're gonna be working on that. Good
Great.
point.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Yeah, we need the information either way.
Sure.
Yes.
Appropriate
Yeah, for
legal opinions
future
either way.
issues, yeah.
Yeah.
So Tom will keep us updated. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. And Tom, keep us updated when you find out more information. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, item 14, schedule work session to discuss the council rules and procedures. Felicia, do you wanna talk about that?
The consensus date for the work session for, the council rules and procedures, or it looked like a date that may work for everyone, is June 28th
Good.
at 2 p.m.
I'm good with that. Everyone okay?
I'm okay with it.
All right,
Yes.
okay, we're all good for June 28th
I'm
for our council rules and procedures.
I would make a motion to schedule our work session on council rules and procedures for June 28th, 2022 at 2 p.m.
Second? All right, any other discussion? You sure? You're smiling over there, Councilmember.
I'm enjoying the
Looking
meeting.
forward to the 28th.
Yeah. All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is council comments. Katie, Councilmember Gann, I'm gonna let you go first.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Just a couple quick reminders. Miss Suda's dance recital's coming up this Saturday at Ari Olds Park, 6 p.m. The job fair is also this Saturday, put on by the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce in partnership with us at the Oldsmar rink from 10 a.m. to 2. They've got about 145 job openings. It's definitely an employees market. Excited for next Wednesday, 2 to 5 p.m. right here, our capital improvement plan work session. Looking forward to everybody's input on that. I hope we can have some citizens here as well. Also looking forward to the Memorial Day ceremony on the 30th at 10 at Veterans Park. As has been mentioned, it's always such a moving event, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. And lastly, when I came up to the dais tonight, I had a letter from Forward Pinellas, from Whit Blatton actually, notifying me, it's my pleasure to inform you Forward Pinellas in its role as the Pinellas County Metropolitan Planning Organization at its meeting on May 11th appointed me, as the primary representative to the STSC, that's the School Transportation Safety Committee for the city of Oldsmar. And I wanted to let everybody know the first meeting is actually on June 1st, so we won't be back here together until the following week because the first Tuesday in June falls in the second week of June. So looking forward to that. I have a couple of issues that I want to bring up regarding safe, walking routes to Oldsmar Elementary School and Forest Lakes as well. And a couple other things that I want to chat with them about, get some feedback, and let you guys know. So with that, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I'm so glad you're on that committee, and I think everyone else, I speak for everyone else, we're really honored to have you, and we look forward to hearing your feedback and what you accomplish. Thank you so much for stepping up to the plate.
Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember, again, it means a lot to us.
Thank you.
All right, next is Andrew Knapp, Councilmember Knapp.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things. I also wanted to mention the job fair. I know my employer will be out there along with many others, so I just know that there's a lot of great opportunities out there. So if you are actively job seeking or thinking of finding some new employment, I think this will be a great opportunity to get out there and see all of our local employers who are trying to show off and compete for your employment. Secondly, I know it's been brought up at prior meetings, the Leadership Pinellas Class of 2023 is still accepting applications. Is there a deadline? It's
Supposed to be kind of fluid, but
Yeah.
generally tomorrow is our
Yeah.
annual meeting at the Pelican Club where
Right.
the new officers are sworn in, the new board takes over. So we'll be looking to close that application period
Sure.
probably in the next few days.
Yeah, and speaking of new officers, I want to congratulate Councilmember Gannon on being elected as an officer, Secretary,
yes,
right?
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And so I think she will do us well in her service for that organization. The third thing, I know I've been mentioning it to people before, kind of teasing it out. If you'll indulge me just for a few minutes, I'm channeling my inner Jerry Beaverland right now. I have a couple of old articles that I kind of found digging through my grandmother's things after she had passed. They're from the Tampa Tribune. One is dated May 19th, 1963, and this one was May 31st, 1963. So these were two different printings of right before and right after the very first Oldsmar days. So I'll try to show that up and maybe
Wow, that's
zoom that into
wonderful.
the camera there if they can take a
Oldsmar,
peek.
eager to start sharing in prosperity.
Yeah, so right up here, I've got my fingers backwards with the camera. So that is Ward Schreckengoss right there, former mayor of Oldsmar, taking a picture with one of the Oldsmobiles in the show. So I think even back then they were doing a card show. And then the other title, this was after kind of celebrating. Whole town turns out to celebrate first Oldsmar Day. Long talked of city festival materializes. And I just wanted to read a couple of excerpts from it because of the first one here about eager to start sharing in prosperity, because it's kind of funny that it has draw some parallels to things going on in today's Oldsmar. So basically it said, this long little town expects to resume a long delayed march of progress. Oldsmar has everything: flat land, waterfront acreage, low taxes, and a location between Tampa and Clearwater. That's changed. Everything, that is, except prosperity. Fewer than 2,000 people reside within the city limits of this community that lines the north shore of Old Tampa Bay. The same community that once boasted a population of 25,000 and lays claim to being the town that first felt the Florida boom during the 1920s today has no doctor. The bank that once bulged with funds belonging to millionaires who wintered here closed during the Depression and has not reopened. Then another part talks about they are working. The Chamber, the Volunteer Fire Department, and other organizations are working on many other improvements. A new boat marina where boats may be rented and stored will open soon. I think that's probably the one by Jack Willie's. Neff and others will see a new post office and an office building in the near future. City Council has purchased the subdivision's sewage disposal system for $90,000, a prerequisite to acquiring federal aid for city sewers. But plans for a mandatory sewers must first pass a referendum. Citizens of this town, which is known best for its Sunshine Park horse racing track, now the Tampa Bay Downs, feel safe from annexation by Tampa, even though expansion is in that direction. In this case, being in Pinellas is considered an asset. Oldsmar is in fact planning annexations of its own. Council members are pushing for annexation of West Oldsmar.
What year was that? 63?
63, right? 1963?
Yeah. Between Oldsmar and Safety Harbor. This would bring in additional revenue. And it talks about Oldsmar days. And then the article closes. It says, what of the future? The future could be very bright for Oldsmar. With an active chamber of commerce similar to the one in Brandon, which has aided that town's growth, and city sewers so that small businesses will be able to set up shop easily, growth is certain. If plans to block off Upper Tampa Bay at Courtney Campbell Causeway and convert it to a freshwater lake are realized, waterfront development should be rapid. These ideas are the driving forces of the working citizens of Oldsmar. The reasons for being at least moderately optimistic.
Wonderful.
These are going to go to the Oldsmar Historical Society because I don't think they have these, and anybody will be able to enjoy
Show that
these.
Oldsmobile ad on the back. I saw the
Oh, did you see
Oldsmobile
one?
cover.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah, show that.
Oldsmobile on the bottom. Let's see what the price was.
Herman Oldsmobile.
Urban Oldsmobile. I don't see any prices on there, but you can't lose. Come in soon.
You win. Look at that car.
Dealerships in the area, I believe.
Right, yeah, this is probably the precursor to that. And then just finally, real quick, I know I've mentioned this before. I'm going to do my best to attend the next meeting, but as we get closer to early June, I know I have to be on baby watch. So she's tracking 3 weeks ahead, which would be June 6th-ish. So we'll see. But in the event that I can't attend, I'm sure you'll understand why, but just forewarning. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. How exciting. Great job. Thank you for sharing all that.
Absolutely.
All right. Vice Mayor Buckman, you're up.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilman Gannon, congratulations on your appointment. I know you worked hard for that, and you'll represent us well there.
Thank you.
Had the opportunity this past 2 weeks ago to attend the National Day of Prayer at the park. I thought that was an amazing event. Had good attendance. I also attended the reptile event at Oldsmar Elementary School. That was a really cool event. Lots of reptiles coming out, and the guy lives right here locally in Oldsmar. I thought that was really cool. Lastly, I just want to brag on my daughters just a little bit. They were involved with a couple school plays this week. Chase was in 9 to 5 at Eastlake High School. Abby was at Shrek Jr. at Carwise. And now I got to brag on the wife a little bit because she's going to be singing the national anthem at Memorial Day. So always excited to get an opportunity to hear my wife sing. So with that, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Good job. Councilmember Graber.
Thank you. Nearly everything's been covered. I had the job fair down, of course. Hundreds of employers or hundreds of jobs are going to be there. So it's always a good event. It was a fantastic one last year. The Memorial Day ceremony as well. Everything else had been touched on. My wife and I took our 4- and 5-year-old to Magic Kingdom this weekend for the first time where the both of them got to go. I'm here, so we survived. But we managed to get Ariel, Haunted Mansion, Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain, Mini Ears, ice cream, lunch, see the parade, and back to the hotel by 12:30.
Whoa.
So I'm about to break my arm, pat myself on the back, but it was we had a very good time, and the kids really loved it. And our son just hit 40 inches, so he could go on the bigger rides, and he thought it was the coolest thing ever. So that's all I had, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I just have a couple things. First of all, the Jolly Trolley Tour is back. We did this 5-6 years ago for the Centennial. And we have, this time we're having 3 tours, 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and 2 p.m. And we're gonna have refreshments at the Women's Club, like we did last time during the break, once the trolley gets back. Tickets are only $20. It's selling out fast. So if you want tickets, you can get them at the Historical Society, or you can contact Mary Ann Cruz, who is the president of the Women's Club, or the president of the Historical Society. She's very busy. But it's going to be on Saturday, October 15th. There's plenty of time. But Gull Air seems to be buying a lot of tickets. The Jolly Trolley will take you around the entire city for about an hour and 15 minutes. You will stop at different locations in the city. You're going to learn all about our history of our city. It's going to be a great event. Again, we did this during the Centennial, and it was a super hit. We only did 2 So this time we decided to expand it to 3, and the proceeds will go to the Oldsmar Historical Society. So there's some flyers in the Historical Society if you guys want to go. It's a great event, and I look forward to seeing all you on that trolley, the Jolly Trolley. All right, I wanted to bring up one other thing. Vice Mayor Buckman and I attended the Fallen Officer Memorial on May 11th. It was, of course, a sad event, but we attended, and we were there for the city of Oldsmar. I wanted to bring that up. And then tomorrow night, the Leadership Pinellas Dinner and Awards. I will be there.
Oh, great.
I'm excited about going and being with both of you there, and congratulations for graduating. It's a wonderful experience. I know you had fun. And Katie, I'm just overwhelmed with your induction for the secretary and the future of being the president of Leadership Pinellas. Stepping stone, you're going to be moving up. Whether you like it or not, it's good. It's going to happen. And I'm really excited about that. And I think that's a great honor for not only for yourself, but for our city. Thank you so much for stepping up and doing that. It definitely means a lot. And then the last thing, I didn't want to bring this up last couple council meetings, but I was really afraid that the Tampa Bay Lightning was not going to beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. Being from up north, those guys, the way they play in the snow and all that, but they beat them. Now I'm on the bandwagon. Let's go Tampa Bay Lightning. I think next meeting we should get a flag and get a picture together with it, because I think they're going back to the cup. I think they're gonna win the cup. So I wanted to bring that up. All right. Tom, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Felicia, do you have anything?
No, sir.
All right, then we're gonna go to item 16, approve tenant agenda for June 7th. Does anybody wish to add or pull anything from the tentative agenda? All right, with that, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All right, everyone signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Tentative agenda is approved, and that's it. Meeting is adjourned.